I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be why she's bitchy and disinterested. Well, I've got an email here. It's actually from one of my phone coaching clients, and I've been coaching him for, I think, a little over a year, maybe a year and 3-4 months, something like that. And so he just had his 1 year anniversary with a woman who's like the first time he's ever been in a relationship with a woman who's the love of his life. His girlfriend actually happens to work over in Europe, and she's going to be moving back to the States soon. She's actually in the process of looking for a job right now, and he's actually thinking about maybe moving out west to be closer to the technology area or something like that. It's something a little more in line with what it is that he wants to do in this next chapter of his life. And like what I like to tell a lot of guys is the easy part is actually getting her to fall in love with you. The hard part is keeping her in love with you 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. When you get busy, you get caught up in life, and you get lazy and you get complacent. And for a lot of guys, these are new skills, learning relationship skills or communication skills. You know, especially in his case, he's doing pretty well in the relationship, but just recently, to give you a little background, she actually came over to visit him. And instead of having several times planned out over the 10 days or whatever it was that she was here, he let her make all of the plans, basically. And so all they did when she was here was run around and go visit her family and her friends. And basically, they both ran errands all the time. And I think they went out 1 or 2 times, and they really didn't have much sex. And he was upset about that. And I said, well, that's the thing, is that you as the man in the relationship, it's up to you to take control of the drive and the direction of where the relationship goes. And so like when I had my last phone coaching session with him a few weeks ago, I said what you should have done is you should have scheduled a couple days where it's just you and her taking her away to a bed and breakfast or doing something with only you and her would do. And then that would leave, there's plenty of time to still do all the errands. But instead, you're trying to please her and make her happy and help her get all of her errands done. And you basically acted like her male butler or her male girlfriend the whole time. And that's why you didn't have much sex and you didn't get laid, because you didn't create any opportunities for sex to happen. That was the problem. And so one of the other things that this particular client of mine has been struggling with is communication and getting her to open up and talk, because she's fearful about moving back to the States. She's getting a new job, and now he's talking about possibly moving out to California. And she's actually in the process of getting a job where they both live now on the East Coast. And so she's in the process of changing jobs, and now her boyfriend's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go out to California. And so for a woman, you got to remember, women are emotional beings, and so that's going to create a lot of uncertainty and a lot of fear. And women resolve their problems by talking about that. And that's why one of the things I've been working with him to get her to talk and open up and actually resolve things over the phone so she feels better. And when you've done that, and you've done that properly, and your girl feels like you've opened her up completely emotionally, and she's talked about everything, she'll go, I feel so good. I'm so glad we talked. Thank you, honey. I love you. And that's what she'll say to you. But what's happening is he's giving up before that moment happens because he thinks he's got it handled. And so that's why she still is bitchy. The reason she's bitchy is obviously there's a few things that he's doing here. But let's just jump right in. And he says, I'm having trouble with my lady. I'm trying to apply all the concepts I've learned from you to turn things around. I know that her interest level is dropping. She's now in Europe again, and I'm obviously on the East Coast in the States. I can't tell if I am taking the joking, playful thing too far. I can't tell if I'm hanging back too much. I can tell you that I am not being serious, and I am not chasing her. I might be on the other side of the spectrum here. She texted me yesterday a few times saying, I love you. That's good, right? That's absolutely fucking good, because she's initiated that. The thing to pay attention is who's texting who and in how much. What are the quantities? Because guys have the tendency, when they get in a relationship and they're in love and they're happy, or maybe they feel fearful they're not doing enough, is they start doing too much. They start texting her too much, and they never give her a chance to initiate contact. And so when she texts you a few times out of the day saying, I love you, she means that's what she feels in that moment. So you obviously had done a good job, and that's a good picture of where her emotions are in that particular moment. He says, I think it is, except when we Skyped the past few days, she's been acting very bitchy and disinterested. The frequency of her texts is dropping. So I hung back most of yesterday until the end of her day when I suggested we Skype, but a bit earlier than usual. And I would say you should wait to hear from her. If you had just initiated contact the day before, what I always say, a good rule of thumb is like once a week. Once a week, if you haven't heard from her, or, even if she's calling you all the time, at least once a week, you should initiate some form of contact and set a date. This is with somebody that you're in a relationship with, not some girl that's blowing you off and is always busy every time you call her. This applies when you're in a relationship with a woman. And so, like in his particular case, I think in some instances he's texting and initiating too much. And so he says, I hung back most of yesterday. He says, I was trying to rule out crankiness as a cause for her behavior lately. She could not Skype early because she was doing yoga and going to dinner. Sounds like she has plenty of energy. Fine, so we Skyped at midnight her time. I proceeded to try to get her to talk to me about what might be weighing her down. I mentioned that I sense she has been upset about something and that she needed to talk to me about it so I can understand at least what she is struggling with. Fucking awesome. Good job. That's what a man does, is he digs it. Because a woman, when she says, no, I'm fine, everything's okay, you can tell everything's not okay. And when she says that, she doesn't want you to stop, because the way women look at it in these situations is if you love her and you really care about her enough, you're going to get to the bottom of what's eating at her, why she's upset and why she's bitchy. Now, it doesn't mean that you sit there and you take her being an asshole to you if she's being an asshole. You just say, baby, I love you, and you can tell me anything, but just don't direct your pissed offness or your anger at me. Don't project it onto me. I want you to express it and feel it, but just don't project it at me. And she'll know what you're talking about. And she'll probably say, oh, baby, I'm sorry. He says, I mentioned that I sensed... So finally she revealed that she was sad about leaving France. Is that a red flag? No, it's just she's a woman. I mean, she's moving away from all of her friends and everybody that she loves to come be with you. And remember, women are emotional beings, so she's going to feel fearful about it. And so again, your job is not to solve her problem. Your job is to get her to talk, because it's in talking that she will open up to you emotionally and feel attraction for you again and start to pursue and chase you more. Because every time she contacts you, you open her up by just simply asking questions and getting her to talk, and then every so often repeating some of it back to her. She mentioned her friendships she'd be leaving behind. She had a hard time the first year fitting in and making friends, and she has a great group of friends and teammates now, so I can understand her totally. That's the kind of thing that, as she's talking, you repeat a little bit of that back to her, because then she goes, oh, he's actually listening to me. He actually cares about me, which makes her open up even more. Her boss has been bringing in candidates to the office to interview for her position, and this may be causing some of the distress too. Yeah, she knows that she's going to be out of there soon. She mentioned it during the brief few conversations we had. She also mentioned that she spoke to her former boss about what it's like to move back to the USA. And her former boss, lived in Europe for 5 years, and her visa ran out, so she had to move back. And so she's been struggling being back in the States because she probably got used to Europe. And she mentioned that she wasn't even sure how to eat a hamburger. I swept right in and joked about that. Of course she's struggling with eating hamburgers. They don't eat those in France. Either way, there's only way to eat a hamburger, and that's with your hands. And he was fucking around, joking with her, and she did not think that was funny, so I responded with, look, if you move back to the USA and you don't like it, you can always move back. It's not permanent. Don't worry, my angel. That was okay. I was trying to be sincere, but not too serious. Perfectly executed, in my opinion. The conversation ended shortly after that. I'm writing this email the following morning. I've not received a text from her. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells, dude. Far from the way a 3% man should be feeling. I would appreciate your advice, Coach. Thanks, and we'll talk soon. The only critique that I would have here is that you got to get her to talk more. You got to listen for the signal that she's done. And when she's done, she does this. You'll hear her sigh. She'll go, oh, I feel so much better. I love you. I'm so glad we talked. You always make me feel better. You just got to get her to talk and open up. And until you hear that, you just keep going, what else, baby? So when she says to you, or she says, I'm really sad about leaving France. I'm going to be leaving all my friends behind. And you say, Yeah, I can understand, baby. So it's, you're probably a little scared, a little afraid, and you're uncertain of what the job that you're going to have in the future, if you're going to like the people that you work with in the future as much as the ones you're with now. And she'll go, yeah, that's exactly what I'm feeling. Like, what else, baby? Tell me more, honey. What else? Don't leave anything out. Tell me more. And you just keep doing that over and over and over and over again. Maybe she'll talk for 2 hours. The point is that when she's done and all the tension is released within her, she'll go, oh, I'm so glad we talked. I feel so much better. And until you hear that, you're not fucking done. You haven't opened her up. And if you hang up before then, you're fucking up, because what's happening is you're hanging up the phone call and your girlfriend is maybe 70% open to you. And that affects her attraction and her emotions towards you. Now, if she hangs up just, oh, I feel so much better, she's going to be gushing about you. Oh, I had the most amazing conversation with my boyfriend last night. I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to move to the States. That's what she'll be talking about the next day. She'll go, I love you. I told my girlfriends how wonderful you were and you made me feel at ease and everything's going to be okay today. And that's the kind of shit she'll be texting to you. But it's not going to happen unless you got the fucking balls to wait for her to say, oh, I'm so glad we talked. I feel so much better. I only said that about 5 fucking times on here because I know when we talk during our phone coaching sessions, I bring that up a lot. So you're digging, but you're just simply not digging deep enough. But good job overall. You're getting there. You're getting it. So I'm very proud of you, bro. Keep up the good work and keep me posted. And I'll talk during our phone coaching session next week. And so if you find this message of value, you could show your appreciation by going to my website, understandingrelationships.com, and pressing the PayPal donate button, which is located on the Wibbia toolbar, which is at the bottom of every single page of my website. And if you, at the very least, just share this page, or this video, I should say, with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are located right on the video itself. And if you have a question you'd like to ask me, or there's a topic that you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab, which is on the left-hand side of your screen when you're on my website, on any page of my website, understandingrelationships.com. Send me 3 or 4 paragraphs max detailing your situation, your questions. And you just got to give me several days to get back to you with a detailed response, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I got to focus on the emails from my paying phone coaching customers, like this particular one, first. But be patient. I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get a hold of me so I can help you is to book a paid phone coaching session by going to any page on my website, click the Products tab, which is at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.